They left 3rd Street, but they went right outside the boundaries that basically your office drew. So what happens now?
Well, the purpose of the injunction to start with was for them to go to facilities that are waiting for them, you know, homes,
Shelters.
halfway houses, shelters, things like that. And they chose to just go right by the courthouse and pitch their tents there. So eventually, I think they're going to get the message that you can't just pitch tents on public property. That is a trespass. And we have a common pleas court judge who has said you can't do that, and that's what happened yesterday. And today, they moved and didn't go to the facilities, didn't go to the shelters. So we filed again and expanded the geographical area where it's effective, up to Norwood Lateral between the 2 interstates, 71 and 75 to the river.
So they're just going to move outside of those boundaries.
Okay,
now.
and then we'll change it again.
Isn't it sort of just, you know, I don't know, the chicken and the egg?
They can't do that, okay? They just can't do that. It's against the law. They don't want to do the law. They don't want to, look, they want to be able to do drugs, drink, not follow the rules of the shelters, you know, defecate outside, urinate outside. That's what they do. And it's disruptive to the city, and it's a nuisance, and that's why we filed.
This almost seems like we're getting to the point where this is a political statement by some of the homeless shelters or homeless coalitions.
A lot of them, actually, believe it or not, have been supportive of our actions to get them in the shelters. But you're going to have a subset of homeless people that don't want to follow the rules, period. And we're going to deal with it.
Are we not, does it feel inhumane to keep pushing these people out?
No, they should be going to a shelter.
You're just trying to get them into a homeless
Yes, into a homeless shelter. I talked to the mayor today. He said there's plenty of room for them. They're ready to take them. They won't go. They want to live on public property. It is a problem, and that's what we're doing.
So then what happens? So now they'll be arrested?
Yeah,
or?
they'll be arrested. I talked to the sheriff. He said they can sleep on the gym floor if they don't comply. And I'll tell you this too. I know there's activists and there's politicians out there urging them to resist. If we find out about it, we're going to charge them with obstruction of justice. They're not going to, you can't do that stuff, right? We have a common pleas judge who's made this order. It's a lawful order, and they have to comply. And if they don't, they're going to go to jail.
Anything else?
No.
Anything else, Ted? Just making sure you guys, we didn't miss anything. Oh.
You better air that tonight, by the way.
Why should we better air it tonight?
Because that's when it just happened.
No, we're going to air it like in
all right.
an hour and a half.
Cool.
Do you want to name any of those politicians? Any of the politicians you'd like to speak directly to tell them?
No. They know who they are. They know exactly who they are.
Bottom line, your message to these folks, if you could talk to these folks who are living outside, living in tents and creating these encampments, what would you say to them?
Go to a shelter. There's room for you. You'll be taken care of, okay? You have to show some degree of self-discipline to go to a shelter, but they're available for you, and I wish they would avail themselves to that.
Have you ever had to do this before? I mean, have you ever seen an issue like this on downtown streets?
Never. We've never seen. I mean, we had Occupy Cincinnati that we were going to clear out, and it wasn't too dissimilar from that, but the mayor at that time was Mark Mallory, and he cleared it up before we did. Mm-hmm. So.
But regards to, you've never had to issue an order like this twice now?
It could be more than that. If they keep doing this, we'll expand it.
But is this precedent in the city? Have you done this before?
On encampments, no. I have not.
And what's the closest thing to it that you can recall?
I mean, we use civil nuisance actions all the time. We use them all the time. Like, we had a building in Addiston that they took, it was just basically a drug house, and they have taken 2 dead bodies out of it in the last 6 months, and we shut that down, and our intention is to have it demolished. We did it in Green Township. We've done multiple civil nuisance actions. This is the first time we've done it, really. We were going to do it in Occupy Cincinnati. This is the first time we've done it, actually had to file to get it cleaned up.
I've been asking this question over and over to multiple people. I'll ask it of you. Why has this become such an issue in our city? What led to this? What led to, you may not know. I don't know. But all of a sudden, I've never seen an issue of homelessness like this before in Cincinnati in my
I mean, have you gone to
40+
Portland?
years.
Have you gone to Seattle or Atlanta and seen what's occurring? It's not just
But that's
Cincinnati.
there, not here.
But it's not, it's
What led to this here? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either, but I can tell you this, we're going to deal with it. And we're not going to be, you know, when I talked to the mayor, he sounded very upset about this. He tried to do this. John's a very compassionate guy. Actually, I think he's too compassionate for his own good, but he's a compassionate person, and he wanted to try to do this in the nice way. And finally, he was at wit's end and said, you got to do something, and we are.
Okay.
Okay?
Think it's going to work?
I think they're either going to comply with the order or they're going to go to jail.
Does that solve anything, though?
Yeah.
What?
They're off the street and they're in jail.
For how long? 72 hours?
No. They can be in jail. They can, on a contempt order, they can be in jail 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
We have a jail overcrowding issue.
I know, but the sheriff said I'll make room for them.
Okay.